Welcome, everybody. We've got quite a show today. You have reached us at the World of Ability Podcast Network. Emily Gomer is our podcast engineer. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Kurt Roskoff, and I'm pleased, proud, and privileged to be able to do this interview today. We're going to be giving you a program, a book, and courses, and all of this bundled up into a wonderful thing that we call Living Your Best Third Act. So we're here today with Milan Schwarzoff, and he's going to be explaining this whole thing, and you're going to be hearing all about him and what he has to provide to you. So Milan, let's get started. Let's start with what in the world is this mantra? What is living your best third act?
Yes, thank you for inviting me today. With the present status of medicine, you can reasonably expect to live until 90, not depending on your genes. If you retire, say, in 65, you have at least 25 years in front of you, and this can be the best part of your life if you plan for it well and manage it well, and it can be the disaster if you don't. I call this period your third act.
There you go. What a way to go. So we're going to tease out, if you're pretty young yet, if you're a teenager in your 20s, midlife, whatever, kind of what all this can mean for you to get a start now. If you're like me, I'm 53. So what does Milan have for a guy like me who's 53? And if you're already a senior citizen, if you're already in your 60s and so forth, what can you pick out of what Milan has? A lot of this is about preparation and, really taking several years, many years into preparing through what Milan has to use, but we'll cover it all for whoever you are. How does this all work? So, Milan, take us back a little bit. There was a day where, you weren't worried about these things that you're bringing to us today through living your best third act. And then something happened. But before we get to that, what was the something happened? What was life like before you were doing any of this planning preparation or worrying about the third act? What was that like? And then what happened that said to you, there's something that we got to do this better, that you, Milan, had to do it better. And then it became a thing that you said you want to help the rest of us do the third act better. What was that all about? What's your story?
I am originally an electrical engineer, including PhD. Then later I graduated my MBA from Rochester Institute of Technology, and I decided to become a project manager. I have managed big international and global projects, high responsibility for tens of millions of dollars, responsibility for virtual teams up to 40 managers across Europe. And I was gradually starting to be afraid how it will be when I will not be willing or able to work that hard. I was seeing that the government basically will not be able to provide decent pensions for many reasons, political reasons, demographics crisis. So I gradually decided I don't want to be fully dependent financially on the government, on the social security pension or something like that. So in my mid-age, I decided to first become a contractor, mainly for better taxation. I decided not to spend all the money, put some money aside, invest that for my future retirement. I have hired a professional independent portfolio manager. They are taking care of my retirement portfolio. In my view, financial preparation for retirement takes at least 15 to 20 years. It takes discipline, it takes willingness to do some short-term sacrifices for long-term benefits. Let me repeat again, we are speaking about 25 or more years of your life, which can be the best part of your life. Unfortunately, nearly no one is preparing for this long period. And the consequences may be bad, and we can see examples all around us. Then in later years, I discovered I am serving 4 years longer than necessary. And I was asking myself, why am I doing this? I have money enough. I don't need this high stress anymore. So I decided to retire. The first task was clear. I must improve my health damaged by high stress from very intensive work and learn how to do that. No doctor will tell you. They don't know anything about prevention. They are not taught in that. They don't have time and motivation to speak with you about that. So I decided I must learn how to do that. I started to buy books, watching many webinars, uh, and I, after all, succeeded in improving my health. I am fully healthy now. The same for relationships. I had all relationships damaged because my primary goal was delivering projects. I was neglecting my relationship, both close and distant ones. So again, I decided to learn how to improve my relationships. I also learned that as soon as you have a reasonable amount of money for retirement, a reasonable amount of health, your real satisfaction will come from your relationships. So I again succeeded in improving my relationships. And then I discovered I have basically lost my life purpose, which was always based on work. And now what? So I had to rediscover my new life purpose for retirement and again learn how to do that. You can see many people find their new life purpose in retirement in helping others. So am I. So one day I discovered my knowledge of retirement preparation is so complex that it's not described anywhere else. So I decided to write the book, which I did. I have published the book last year. It became Amazon #1 bestseller in July last year. Then I completed a course and published it this year. And for people who are interested, I am offering a guided retirement preparation plan done with you in 3 months. I have a methodology for that. Uh, so if people don't want to read, if they want to get customized retirement preparation plan, I am available to guide them. Thank you.
Very good. So Milan, I'm hearing that this can be plugged into in an I'll call it an a la carte fashion. You can do things separately and just do a one-off, like buy your book, enjoy the book, go through your program, enjoy your courses, do the, building it with you, direct sessions with you, and you can do two of the three things. You can do all three. All three is a really beautiful thing because then you get the whole entire package going through the program with you and with the book and everything that's available on your website. You get the whole thing to really master, what you're providing, for us. Is that a good way to describe it? That you can do all the parts, or just go in and, like you said, you can just go in and just do the in-person or do the Zoom sessions with you. Do you hold the sessions on Zoom? Is that how you do it virtually to our location?
Yes, yes.
Very good. Very good. So, what inspired you to, like, in your brand, it's living your best, so the proposition here is that, people enter into life in their 60s, 70s, and 80s and just kind of coming to that day where they just decide to retire, and then they're trying to figure it out while they're in their 60s. And that's really what you're trying to help avoid, right? Being a 60 something year old and trying to figure it out, and more being ready, like, okay, now it's the time. I have my game plan and I'm ready to go, right? That's what you're trying to do with people, is to prepare them for that when they retire.
Exactly. And moreover, I am helping people to prepare for their retirement in four basic pillars: finance, health, social and relationships, and last but not least, finding a new life purpose for retirement not based on work anymore. In my view, financial preparation for retirement takes at least 15 to 20 years. So my recommendation is they should start in their mid or late mid age as soon as they can put some money aside and invest them with a long-term purpose. All the other pillars can be started anytime. You can improve your health anytime. It's never too late. But the sooner you start, the smaller steps are needed. And those small steps accumulate over the time. The same is true for relationships. And for life purpose, you can always refine your life purpose or find a new life purpose for retirement. Again, it's never too late, but you should start some time before the retirement at the latest.
Yep. So kind of as I'm listening to you and kind of being, your resident 53-year-old, I'm going to say, when I listen to this, I'm like, wow, for somebody like me, and with what I was commenting about maybe doing all three things, someone like me may want to go ahead and buy the book, have your courses all set up, plus have the direct guidance with you because I might have about a decade to put this all together. Whereas, like you said, in midlife, we would say midlife would be more late 30s or early 40s, right? To dive in and get a good dive into all these preparations and everything you're suggesting. If somebody could be late 30s, early 40s, that's where they might have a little more ideal outcome, being ready by the time of retirement.
If you are in your late 30s, I would say you should start improving your health, taking care of your health, and learn how to nurture your relationships. You should start realizing that financial preparation for retirement takes a long time. So you should, as a first step, realize this fact, have it in mind, and then in your, let's say, 40s, early 50s, whenever you can afford that, you should not spend all your money you earn. You should save, in my view, for your retirement.
So, what I'm going to continue this line of thinking to say is that I feel that if somebody's out there, like I said at the beginning, I said whether you're a teenager, whether you're 20 something or say early 30s, if somebody is in those younger age groups, it's still a good idea to grab hold of this and just lightly proceed on the journey to have these considerations at play. Because then by the time they get older, or say they turn 35, it's going to be so much easier because they already put some of these considerations into how they're living for their future.
Yes, I fully agree. They probably won't be able to put that much money aside because they will probably be paying their mortgage, building their house. Uh, so financially, it may be somewhat soon, but they may be able to afford a little money, saving them, growing the basic savings, and then start entering the investment field with an external independent professional help.
Yeah, I've had people in other circles that I've run in the past decades, share a concept with me that some of this is in the idea of paying yourself first. Because the trap that a lot of people can get into is, to worry about all the other stuff that, especially in the USA, where it's very consumer driven, you can just get out there and just be like, you're putting your dollars here and dollars there, and, just just kind of getting yourself to the point where you got no money left to create these nest egg type of financial situations. And I think that's where you're coming from. You're trying to help people avoid that trap to just get so caught up in the day to day of today that you forget that what you're doing today, your 65-year-old self is going to be relying on what you're doing today so that you're not in a suffering position when you come to be 65. So to me, that's what I think it's about. It's about paying yourself first so that you make sure you're taking care of yourself before you go out there and just blow all your money basically on all of your entertainment and leisure and everybody else's concerns and just being so generous that you forget you got to take care of yourself, right?
The situation is the same here and probably all over the world. The difference is what I am trying to teach people to have long-term thinking. You can satisfy yourself, but you don't have to spend all your money. You should not be thinking in the period of year. You should be thinking in the period of decades. If you are 30, you have, say, 60 years in front of you, and you want to enjoy the last 25 to 30 years the same or even better than you have enjoyed the previous act.
There we go. So, folks, if you want to connect with Milan on LinkedIn, linkedin.com, Milan's profile there is linkedin.com/in/Milan Schwarzkopf. And that is MilanSchwarzkopf. And you can see that on the display with his video. And with the book, you can find the book on Amazon. So Milan, are we safe to say that if I see the link here, Amazon.com/DP, and we'll have that all available in the text, and you'll be able to keep in touch with us here at the World Ability Podcast Network, and so forth. Make sure you have all these details. But if they search for the book, the book is going to be Living Your Best Third Act, correct? As a title?
The full title is Living Your Best Third Act, How to Be Healthy, Wealthy, and Happy in Your Retirement. Don't make the mistakes most people do.
There we go. I just wanted to give it a reference. So tell us more about the book, Milan. In terms of, again, I think in terms of you had a day where you just wanted to help people living, doing the thing of, hey, living your best third act. And you just created the programs, you decided how you're going to serve people. And then you decided with the book, maybe somebody encouraged you to write a book and you got this book done and it's ready to go. Tell us more about what you put in the book and the role that reading is going to take. What's your deeper intention in the reading to get that book in front of us, have us read the book, and then how that's going to help us for our retirement years.
What I say is true both for the book and the course. They are introductory chapters which are trying to explain why preparation for retirement is important, why it is so difficult, why it may seem difficult, but actually it's not if you start soon enough. Then I have a chapter where I summarize the general guidance about financial preparation. I don't go to any country-specific details. I'm not a certified financial advisor, but I am trying to teach people, for instance, how to get rid of toxic money beliefs and so on. So basic information, which unfortunately, even if it is basic, most people don't know that. Then I have a chapter where I summarize what I have learned within about 3 years about health, about prevention, good nutrition, exercise, and so on and so on. Many guidance, many accompanying materials which can be downloaded from my webpage, checklists, guidance, and so on. Then I have a chapter about importance of good relationships, both with your spouse, with friends, with wider communities, how it's important both for your health and your happiness. Things like how to be a friend so that you can find new friends and keep them, not be closed in any social bubble, and so on. Then there is a chapter about some guidance how to discover your new life purpose, again accompanied with some checklists, guidance, which can be downloaded. Especially this part of your preparation, I believe, is best done with some external help of a good coach or mentor. Then I have a chapter about how to handle stress. Then there's chapter how to build your new habits, both daily habits, weekly, monthly, and yearly habits. And then a short chapter which describes basically that retirement preparation is kind of a project and should be treated as it. And some final chapters.
Excellent. Wow, what a life enriching reading, good stuff. And yeah, I'm hearing you talk about friends. I feel like I've made a new friend with you, Milan. So here we are.
Thank
And
you.
I just keep having fun with your name. We're here with Milan Schwarzoff and I'm Kurt Roskopf. And so we're here to head on our way here. So I want to talk about the courses. And the courses are coming to you through livingyourbestthirdAct.com. And when you get to the courses, it's livingyourbestthirdAct.com/course-offer. And so tell us more about the courses, Milan. You obviously have what's offered in the courses. You'll see a lot of similar content in the book. But what is the distinction? People can take a lot of courses for improving their life, and all the things for self-improvement, self-care, finances, all the stuff. What do you think is the signature, you know, offer that you have in your courses that is a unique opportunity for their preparation?
There is one course only available. Everything is available through my webpage, www.third-act-resources. You can buy the course and get it, watch it in your own pace. You can also buy my book from that page. You will be forwarded to Amazon. And the contents of the book and the course are basically the same. And they are, of course, general. And if you want personalized guide, prepare your plan, which is tailored for your needs, for your preferences, then you need my help. You can order a short 30-minute call with me. We can either discover the first 3 steps you need to do for your retirement preparation now, or we can agree that you are interested in my 3 months guided tour for retirement preparation. And you will also find a free retirement preparation assessment on the webpage. Everything available on thirdactresources.com.
Okay, and I'm seeing, with everything you just described, your offer to discover your 3 steps you need now for your third act, meaning
Yes.
retirement. So livingyourbestthirdAct.com/schedule-meeting gets you out there a meeting right with Milan. What an opportunity. So I think we basically covered everything in terms of the web resources, the web references for connecting with you and your work, your courses, your book. What a package you have put together. Anything else you want to share in terms of, is there anything else that they do self-help, finding you on Google or finding your web presence, any YouTube channel, anything else you wanted to share, or did what we cover already give them everything they need to get started and dive in?
Yes, I have my own YouTube channel. I am also pretty active on LinkedIn. I am publishing a weekly newsletter, so you can apply for free to get the newsletter with weekly editions. And please start preparation for your retirement soon enough.
There we go. So, Milan, one thing I want to cover at this point, can you share with us a little bit more? I guess, first of all, let's start with how long have you been doing this? Like, how long ago did you come up with this brand of living your best third act? How long ago did that start?
Actually, I have started originally preparing the course in my language. When I discovered no local agency is interested in this, I switched to English and I completed the course. Then I realized I have nearly zero knowledge about online marketing, so I have graduated from several online marketing courses from different US authors. Then I have met a man from US who persuaded me to write a book and hire him as a book writing and marketing coach, which I did. He was excellent. So after about 3 years study and 2 years preparation, the book was published. Then I came back to completing my and publishing my course, which was done this year. And I am offering one-to-one coaching where we can afford to go to uh, any specific details which I was not able to fit within the course and the book.
Excellent, excellent. So, one thing I can do, folks, for you is if you did want to reach me in the work I'm doing here with Milan and help some of the handoff and a little bit of what I call customer service. It's customer service, but I just have fun with my name, customer service. Happy to be of service. My U.S. phone number, I'm out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. My number is 262-372-1754 for international calls, the +1. And folks want to reach me on WhatsApp, I'm +1-414-514-0186 on WhatsApp. Feel free to Google me, contact me. Everything here with the World of Ability Podcast Network and on YouTube. Our podcast engineer, Emily Gomer, is putting this out to you through our work with Ability USA now. But for sure, Milan, you can basically serve everybody anywhere as long as there's not a communication gap. All the materials is in English. Is it only available in English? Is that what I'm understanding at this point?
Yes, that's correct. I have been trying to not to include any country-specific details, so basically anyone who speaks English can benefit from my course, coaching, and the book.
Fantastic. So, like I said, folks, I'm really excited to be able to deliver this to you. I think it's a great, worthy cause. Milan, what would you say, again, in other circles that run other services, people attending to senior citizens? I do a lot of disability advocacy. And the thing that I go by is folks tell me that we find that half of our senior citizens have a disability. But first, I want to cover the intergenerational aspect. I have people telling me that it's very important that in community, and in our civic activities and so forth, it's quite a positive thing. Like if somebody's fortunate to be a grandparent or a parent, that's always a good thing. But what do you think about the intergenerational aspect to, make sure to spend time with youngsters and, have those kids help you bring out the kid in you? Any thoughts towards that?
Definitely, it's part of the relationships chapter. You should have good relationships with all your near and far families and friends. You in retirement, you are lucky enough you don't have that much responsibility for your children anymore. They are taking care of themselves. Hopefully, your parents are being taken care at least as well as you would like to be taken care of yourself when you reach their age. So you have much lower responsibilities and you have much higher chance to enjoy your life and finally enjoy what you have been working for in previous decades. You have the freedom to do so, you have the chance, you can prepare for that, but you must be disciplined in preparation. And it's a big chance to spend the best part of your life in your last 25 or 30 years.
Excellent. So, another off topic, but I think it applies here. You tell me, is some people say they find themselves, like you say, to get started on this in midlife. Well, some of the folks that are in their midlife, like 40 something year olds, a lot of them say they're in this sandwich generation where they have kids to take care of, and then they also have elderly parents to take care of. Does the materials you have cover that intergenerational dynamic where you have to have good relationship with your kids maybe because they may be the ones literally coming over to your house and taking care of you? What does that look like?
Yes, actually, it is projected in a pretty well-known uh, curve which displays the relation of life satisfaction with age. It is pretty well-known U curve. So people are generally most happy when they are young. Then they struggle in the mid-age for reasons you have described. And then you can expect to be happy again before and during your retirement.
Yeah, that's what they say. I grew up with the mantra that it's looking forward to your golden years, so it's a little bit of, what can happen is, set up these financial plans to be your little nest egg and be able to reach in that little pot of gold and be able to live a decent life because you've prepared for it. So Milan, one thing I want to ask, oh, what do we got here? What is this?
This is
What's
the
that
U
graph?
curve.
Well-being, life satisfaction goes on the decline, but then as you get closer to retirement, it's on the upswing. Or maybe that is the retirement age. It's nice. Very good. Yeah, they say that's where all the wisdom is, in our senior citizen community. And that's why I brought up about the intergenerational aspect is, that's the opportunity that those that aren't senior citizens yet to stay close connected senior citizens. And, another reality in the world is that the world's largest healthcare crisis that is ever known is social isolation. So, and that doesn't just go for senior citizens. That goes for someone at any age, like latchkey kids, kids being left at home and nobody to take care of them. So we have stories are around the world where grandparents take care of kids because the parents are off in their careers and not as available, or just, different family situations where those can be the surprises, right? So those are all considerations that everything that you provide, Milan, can really get people thinking, what if? What if my child doesn't stay in that position to take care of my grandchild? Am I prepared for that extra responsibility, financial and otherwise? So all things to think about. Like I said, with my disability advocacy and talking about half of senior citizens have a disability and looking at long-term care, that if you physically need this assistance, that if your children can't provide it, do you have the financial reserves to, have professional services come and take care of your, some of your activities of daily living, like hygiene and so on and so forth, right? All sorts of things you got to be ready for. You never
I
know.
full, I fully agree. And to be honest, this was the initial motivation I started to save for my retirement. In case something happens with my health, so that I can afford this kind of care. Yes, I
Excellent.
fully agree and support that idea. Yes.
Nice.
And in parallel with that, don't neglect your relationships with your spouse, with your children, with your parents, with your friends, because your real happiness will come from your relationships.
All right, Milan. So I want to give you a chance to repeat yourself with one specific thing. We covered a lot in this interview, shared a lot of details. You shared a lot of your stories. We got the full tour, which is really great. So now I like to be able to, set the stage for you, Milan. If you were to pick one thing that if the viewers and listeners out there retain one thing out of their time enjoying this video and our conversation, what is the one thing that you'd want to make sure that they don't miss and like is the key thing from what you want to share today? What would that be? What's the most important?
Can it be more than one?
Yeah, absolutely. You're the teacher. Bring it on. What do you got?
Be aware you are preparing for 25, 30, maybe 40 years of your life in the third act. Have the moment of retirement well calculated. Realize that retirement isn't just about money. Think about suitable housing. Think about a suitable retirement mobility solution. To what extent do you want to contribute to the financial security of your children? Define what measure of physical, mental, social, lifestyle, and financial fitness would you like to have in your retirement years? And what are you doing about it today? Take special care of yourself as no one else will. You are responsible for your health. Your doctors, your hospital, your health insurance policy, none of them can do even 100th as much as you can. Choose what information to let in. Choose the people around you. Continuous learning and network building. Create a more complete plan. Have vision, discipline, and consistency. Read, listen, have a coach. Learn to make short-term sacrifices for long-term benefits. Create new habits. Daily habits create destiny. You are responsible. You can choose to change your mind. You can decide to change your approach. My course, book, and coaching should help. Can I add some more quotations?
Yeah, you bet. This is all a resource for our viewers and listeners, our audience here. What do you have for Milan? That's great. Very generous.
Sam Levinson, you must learn from the mistakes of others. You can't possibly live long enough to make them all yourself. Richard Bach, you are never given a dream without also being given the power to make it true. Bill Gates, people overestimate what they can do in a year, but tend to underestimate what they can achieve in 10 years. And finally, Michael J. Kemi, those who do not think about the future cannot have one.
Wow, fantastic. Great finds, great quotes. Yeah, I encourage everybody out there that if you have the opportunity to rewind this video, play it over again. I think everything we had here is very worthwhile, very crucial, and really the crux of life, living life to its fullest, living your best. Third act. Um, I just want to, in term we covered very well the third act. So the first act is your childhood, your second act is your midlife, and your third act is retirement. Is that how the acts come together in a full play of life?
Actually, we all spent our first act, approximately 25 years, going to school, improving our qualifications, preparing for the second act when we are working, making money, raising children, building houses, planting trees. And we all have been preparing the first 25 years for our second act. You have your third act in front of you, and nearly no one is preparing. This is what I want to change and learn people how to do that. If they don't, you can easily miss this great opportunity to spend your third act and doing it the best part of your life.
Wow, fantastic. So here we have Milan Schwarzoff, electrical engineer turned in passion to life engineering, engineering life for a successful third act, and everything's available to you. So you have in engineering detail fashion, and you heard Milan's heart during this interview. So this is a legacy project to leave all these materials and so take advantage of the opportunity right now to schedule with Milan if that would be your choosing. And certainly go dive into the courses, buy the book, take advantage of this heart work by Milan. So that'll do it for today. I'm Kurt Roskoff here with our guest, Milan Schwarzkopf, our feature author, and everything he does in his practicing of helping people for leaving all of us living your best third act. And a big thanks to Emily Golmer our podcast engineer. And that'll do it for today. We'll see you next time at further interviews with the World Ability Podcast Network. And stay tuned. We'll unfold this together, whether or not Milan comes back for a sequel of this interview. But for now, that'll do it. Thank you. Take
Thank you
care.
for inviting me.